In this episode of Akram's Ideas, I'm going to be showing you how to make a quickie bake, no bake, key lime pie. Hello and welcome. I'm Akram Burris, and you're watching Akram's Ideas, bringing creative and crazy ideas to life. In this episode of Akram's Ideas, I'm going to be showing you how to make a quickie bake, no bake, key lime pie. Now before we get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of key lime pie in general. The exact origins of key lime pie is relatively unknown. We know that the recipe came about during the 20th century somewhere along the Florida Keys. The pie was more of a custard-based pie being made with condensed milk, eggs, and key limes. Key limes being a slightly paler color than a traditional lime and found within the Florida Keys. Key lime pie was also often topped with a meringue topping. It was quite popular among sailors because they could bring most of the ingredients with them on their boats, such as the condensed milk, since it wasn't fresh and could be stored in cans. Now, for my key lime pie, I'm going to use none of those ingredients. This quickie bake recipe, key ingredients include lime Jell-O and vanilla ice cream. So let's get started. Now our key lime pie recipe really is a quickie bake. In fact, it's a no bake recipe, and it only takes a few minor ingredients. The first one being lime Jell-O. You need 2 packages of the 4-serving lime Jell-O or 1 package of the 8-serving lime Jell-O. Now, in efforts to make this pie sugar-free, I'm actually using sugar-free lime Jell-O. And you'll also need lime juice. I've got a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice here. As I mentioned in past recipes, if you use fresh ingredients, it's always going to taste better. While you can get store-bought lime juice, I recommend using a freshly squeezed lime. Now I've used 1 lime to get my 1/4 cup here. You could also use probably about 2 key limes. I've done that in the past. Key limes are typically smaller than regular sized limes, so it just depends if you want to use key limes or limes. You'll also need 2 teaspoons of key lime or lime zest, and I've just tossed the zest in with the lime juice here. To our Jell-O, we're going to add a 1 3/4 cup of boiling water. And then once that's all combined, we're actually going to add 2 cups of softened ice cream. And again, since I'm trying to make this sugar-free, I am using Blue Bunny's Sweet Freedom, no sugar added vanilla ice cream for this recipe. Now, this is semi-sugar-free because the only other ingredient here is our graham cracker crust, and I just got a store-bought packaged graham cracker crust, which of course has some sugar in it. An alternative to this, which I've done in the past, is to get the sugar-free shortbread cookies and to make a sort of graham cracker crust out of the shortbread cookies, and then that way it is completely sugar-free. As far as going and doing a quickie make, the store-bought graham cracker crust works just fine. Alright, to get started with this recipe, we're going to take our Jell-O packets and our hot water. And I just have a mixing bowl here, and I'm going to take my 1 3/4 cups of boiling water and set it in my mixing bowl, and then to that I'm going to stir each of the Jell-O packets. And you want to make sure that they are completely dissolved inside the water, no lumps. I'm going to add the second one here. Now once that's completely dissolved, you're going to add in your lime juice with the lime zest, and I'm going to pour that into here. And now that this is completely mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and stir in my vanilla ice cream. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to dump it all in at one time. It's been sitting out for a little while, so it is a little on the melty side, which is great. It'll stiffen back up once it's all mixed together and refrigerated. And so then I'm going to go ahead and stir this together. So you're going to mix your ice cream with the Jell-O lime mixture, and you want to make sure that you get all the lumps out of the ice cream, and you're going to end up with something that looks like this pale green mixture here. Alright, so I've mixed together my filling for my pie, and I'm going to let that sit just a few minutes and let it thicken up a little bit so it's not completely watery when we put it in our pie crust. And like I said, I've got a 9-inch graham cracker crust here. And when you buy a graham cracker crust at the store, usually it's got this little plastic centerpiece here that's on the crust to protect it. Well, I've taken this off and I've taken a little wrapping off of it and completely washed it, because we're going to actually use this to protect our pie. So I'll set this aside here. And I've got kind of, not completely thick, but thicker than it was, pie here. And I'm going to pour it into the pie shell. And you're going to do this slowly because it's going to fill up quite fast. There we go. And once you have it in your pie crust, to make life easier, I'm going to go ahead and use this lining here that's from the pie pan, and I'm going to set it upside down on top of the pie crust. And this is going to make it easy to put in the refrigerator so that nothing falls on it. Also makes it a little easier to move because it is still kind of liquidy and might shift or spill on you. And I'm just going to take the foiled edges and press them down on top of that plastic piece, just like that. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. And then in 4 hours, we're going to pull it out and get ready to serve it. So here we have our completed key lime pie. And as you can see, it's been in the refrigerator about 4 hours and it's stiffened up to a nice solidified pie here. So the last thing I want to do is go ahead and cut ourselves a slice of the pie. So I've got my handy pie slicer here. I'm just going to cut a small slice out of our pie. There we go, and you can see it looks lovely. I'm going to set it on our plate. And the last thing you want to do with this pie is excellent with Cool Whip on top. So I'm going to take a spoon and get a big dollop of Cool Whip. I'm actually using Cool Whip's sugar-free version because, as you recall, our recipe included a lot of sugar-free elements to make this a little bit more healthier and on the sugar-free side. So there you go. There is our key lime pie, and we'll go ahead and take a slice of it here, or a bite of it. It's so limey and has a great flavor and great texture. This is actually one of my most requested pies by friends and family. Every time we have to do a potluck, everybody always suggests that I bring my key lime pie recipe. And it really is a super easy make. It doesn't take long to whip up. Most of the ingredients you typically have on hand. So it's really an easy recipe to put together. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Akram's Ideas and that you attempt a key lime pie of your own. As always, don't forget to follow us on social media or subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.